Dead Matter is a rogue-lite that aims to quench the community's thirst for a title that properly balances survival mechanics with fulfilling gameplay. And holy Moses, this game does have some promise. Dead Matter is something that's been in my sights for a little bit right now. I am going to be backing the game here pretty soon as I get the funds for it. However, in the meantime, I am going to be talking about this game as much as I can. So without further ado, here are just a few things you're going to love about Dead Matter. Number 1. The world of Dead Matter. Dead Matter, or DM as some call it, will take place in Alberta, Canada, a beautiful area filled with quite a few things to explore and interact with. Dead Matter's creators have handcrafted a 20 by 20 km, or 400 km squared, map packed with things to do. For us Americans that are too lazy to look it up, 20 by 20 km would be about 12 by 12 miles, or about 12.4 by 12.4 miles. Number 2, a wide range of weapons. These weapons include, but are not limited to, 1911 pistol, Anderson ice pick, bone saw, box cutter, boxing gloves, bread knife, broom, chainsaw, chisel, crowbar, Eder P80, flamethrower, FN P90, M14, fork hoe, Makarov pistol, Mossenberg 500 plus variants, Ross rifle, RPK 74M, rusted rebar, Sam Wilson bull, SKS rifle, Sugar MK IV, scythe, wood axe, bow, and my personal favorite, the Weed Slayer 9000. Overall, just too many to count. Number 3, multiple vehicles you can ride. From cars to trucks, bus to forklift, a train to helicopters, there's a little bit of everything. Hell, there's even a lawnmower. What more could you ask for? Number 4, upgrades and attachments. A lot of the guns in this game have multiple ways you can customize your look and usability. Think Crysis 3, where the main character holds the gun in front of him and changes the attachments by hand. Cool, right? Not only guns can be customized, but also cars. From putting bars on the windows to adding a ram on the front, you will have tons of fun driving around in a minivan tank. Number 5, trailers. Speaking of cars, there will be multiple things you can attach to the back of your vehicle. This can be things like road signs with custom messages you can put on there, water tanks, fuel tanks, or even extra storage. Number 6, no microtransactions! I've heard that the devs hate this concept and will actively avoid putting the abomination of microtransactions in their game. Very good, very proud of you. Now there are plans for DLC. However, this isn't going to be pay $1 for a red dot or skin of a gun. It's going to be a whole new open map, including new locations and new things to do. Number 6, building. Something that I personally like about this game is the way they approach setting up a base. Through the Discord, which I will link in the description, I have learned that the focus for base building will be utilizing already built buildings. For example, a gas station. You will be able to go to this location, fortify it, and make it yours. I'm in love with this idea because that means I'm not going to run into some poorly built, gravity-defying monstrosity in the middle of the woods. And when you think about it, it's very realistic. If a zombie apocalypse started, what would you think when looking for options for housing? A,
oh boy, I'm gonna go cut down some trees and build myself a castle in the middle of the woods.
or B, look for a building that's easy to defend. Think about it. Number 8, NPCs. Yes, this game isn't going to be like Fallout 76, or Nether, or even Rust. It will have NPCs that you can interact with and even invite to your group. I find that very nice. Number 9, factions. While we are on the topic of NPCs, let's talk about the group these survivors choose to make. These include first responders, cannibals, soldiers, neighborhood watch, junkers, sirens, and cultists. I'm even told that you are able to do things for these factions, but that spot is reserved for number 10, NPC missions. You'll be able to carry out missions for these factions, increasing your standing with them. That seems like it could lead to possible conflicts between the player and other factions. That's kind of cool. Number 11, character creation. The ability to create a male or female player with multiple options for the way they look. I can't wait to make a full bearded fat gym instructor. Number 12, inspiration from other games. This game, like many others, has a bit of inspiration from other games, including one of my all-time favorites, Project Zomboid. Now you can see why I'm so excited for this game. Number 13, random generation. I know I said the map was handcrafted, but that does not mean that there can't be some random elements thrown in, such as randomly generated bunkers and medical outposts that can be randomly placed throughout the map, adding some pizzazz to the everyday apocalypse. Number 15, multiple ways to loot. When going into an apocalyptic world, it is good to know that you can blow off locked doors, lockpick items, use bolt cutters on a padlock, or even rip a door off its hinges with a car winch. Wow. Number 16, game-changing events. Think you can come up with a strategy and survive for years to come? Think again. With all 4 seasons in the game, you're going to have to think ahead when farming food or even looting canned items. Or maybe you're thinking, as long as I can see the zombies, I can rest easy, right? Well, you'd be happy to hear that the fog settling in will make sure you stay on your toes. Oh, I see you have a nice grown farm there. It would be a real shame if a famine were just to come in there and sucker punch you in the balls. Number 17, pre-event jobs. Your survivor had to have done something to make a living before the apocalypse, right? You will be able to choose what your player did before stuff rolled downhill. So choosing a doctor will give you different buffs and debuffs than choosing a lumberjack. The devs are even planning on putting a little mechanic in the game that changes your starting location based on your previous occupation. For instance, a doctor is going to have a much better house than a burger flipper. Number 18, modding support. The devs will release modding tools for the community to make whatever they like. This leads to so many things. If you need an example, look at Skyrim. I am just super stoked for Thomas the Tank Engine zombies, let me tell you. Number 19, an awesome dev team. The developers of this game are quite a good bunch from what I've seen so far, always taking feedback from their community and keeping us all up to date on their game. I see through their good example a thriving and loving community. Keep it up, you guys, we're rooting for you. Bonus round. Here are some things I thought I should mention outside of the list. Adding sheets to windows without curtains or blinds, airdrops, basic parkour, breakable windows, built cabins out in the countryside, certain materials with separate levels of strength for player construction, characters' temperature being affected by how heavy their clothes are, complete access to server files. Co-op can be run with any amount of players, destructible world items, diseases and infections, not just the zombie virus. Food can expire with age, game starts in the fall, hand gestures, house alarms, locking doors, lootable zombies, opening and closing curtains and blinds over windows and doors with windows, and so much more. Okay guys, I think that this game is totally something we should be looking out for. I'm going to go ahead and link the Discord in the description so you can go ahead and figure out how you can support the game and even ask questions of your own. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.